ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Hope you all had a nice darshan of today's Lordships. Shall I ask you a quiz? Okay, except Mataji, who is in altar, others should tell. How many instruments, musical instruments were there inside the altar? Anybody noticed?
Mridangas were there in the hands.
How many?
2.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong. Yes. How many? Totally कितना था? No, Mataji. Sorry. Anybody? Yes, ma'am. Now, totally how many musical instruments are there inside the altar today? Is the question. No. Okay, let us start from 1. No? Nobody noticed? Okay. Now let us, how many are, you have noticed, you tell me.
2 Mridangas.
2 Mridangas. Who had Mridangas?
Nita
Chaitanya had 2 Mridangas. Then? Krishna has flute. Radharani has Veena.
Difficult to see from far.
One more.
Govardhan has flute.
Govardhan has flute. Totally there are 5 musical instruments. Okay. Those who have not answered, that's fine. You can, after the class, you can have darshan. So, tomorrow is most auspicious day. And that is?
Janmashtami.
Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav ki. So, Krishna is the most profound teacher, and Krishna's teaching is also very profound. And among all the Krishna's teachings, the most profound most famous teachings. What is that?
Uddhav Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. So let us see what all we can learn today from Bhagavad Gita. Ready? So all of you, I think you know about these things. There are 3 foundational scriptures. It is called Prasthanatraya. So if any, like for example, why this is important, I'll just give you some brief analysis. Now today I come out and I say I am starting a new sampradaya. I am starting my new spiritual organization, and this is also in parampara. How many of you agree that it is bona fide? Or if somebody new person comes and he says I am going to start a new sampradaya, how do we know whether this sampradaya or whatever he is going to start is a bona fide sampradaya or bona fide? Yes, bro.
If he is able to give the philosophy of that sampradaya, commentary on these 3 scriptures,
Yeah.
Smriti and Sruti.
Yeah, so now somebody comes and say new philosophy. Now if you see, there is Shankaracharya came and he gave Advaita philosophy. Then Ramanujacharya came, he said it is almost Advaita, then Vishishta Advaita. Then when Shankaracharya came and he said Advaita, it is not that simply from the sky he is speaking. He has to prove it. Whatever acharyas say, that they have to prove it by using these 3 foundational scriptures. Prasthana means foundation. So Traya means 3. So these are the 3 foundational scriptures. It is called Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. Now Shankaracharya came and he wrote commentaries on these 3 things. Then people accepted. Then Ramanujacharya came. He said no, there is Vishishta Advaita. Okay, what is your proof? You prove it by writing commentaries on these 3 scriptures. Then Ramanujacharya wrote. Then Madhvacharya came, he said not Vishishta Advaita, it is pure Advaita. Shuddha Advaita. What is your proof? Okay, I will write and show. So then Mahaprabhu came and he said, Achintya Abheda Bheda Tattva. For that, you have to write commentaries and prove. Then Baldev Vidya Bhushan and all the acharyas, they actually wrote commentaries on Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. Now in ISKCON, if somebody, these things, most of the people do not know, so don't worry. If somebody who is well versed in philosophy, in scriptures, theology, so they may come and ask, so you are following in ISKCON, what is your foundational scriptures? Do we have scriptures based on these 3? Yes. So what is Shruti? From Shruti, which book is the most important? Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad. Then Smriti?
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then not Bhagavatam, Nyaya? Nyaya is Bhagavatam. Nyaya is Vedanta Sutra. So Nyaya is Vedanta Sutra, and what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So it comes under Nyaya. So we have Shruti. Among Shruti, Ishopanishad is very famous. So that is why Prabhupada, if you have seen, Prabhupada has not written, sometimes I used to think in the beginning, there are so many scriptures, why Prabhupada wrote on Ishopanishad? Too difficult to understand. Oh, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna, Purnamada oh, Purna, where is a Purna? Nothing is a Purna. How to understand this? Why Prabhupada wrote? So many years I was in dilemma. I was not aware. So when I read, heard about these things, then I thought Prabhupada very thoughtfully has written these scriptures. So Ishopanishad, Shruti, and Smriti is Bhagavad Gita and Nyaya is Bhagavatam. So interestingly, Bhagavad Gita comes under Smriti, technically. Bhagavad Gita, we can also say Bhagavad Gita is Shruti. Shruti in Smriti. So why is Shruti? What is the difference between Shruti and Smriti? Shruti is direct word of God and it cannot be changed. And Smriti is the realization of great sages, great rishis, exalted devotees, and they have written commentaries and expansion of Shruti, and that is Smriti. Now if you see, Bhagavad Gita is directly spoken by Krishna, right? Hence it can come under Shruti, but Bhagavad Gita comes under Mahabharata. Mahabharata is not a part of Shruti. Itihasa, it is Smriti. So it comes under Smriti also. So that is a unique significance or unique position of Bhagavad Gita. It comes both under Shruti and Smriti. Where is Bhagavad Gita? In the Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva, that is 6th Parva, from chapters 25 to 42, and there are other great sages they have written. Sometimes it is 23 to 40 and sometimes it is 25 to 40. In the Bhishma Parva, it's a part of Bhishma Parva, 18 chapters. And Padma Purana says Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads. Anybody remembers the words? Famous words? Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dobdha Go. We all can chant. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dobdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsana Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Maha. So what is beautiful? The meaning is so beautiful. When I started my Krishna consciousness, first few verses is this. Actually, I like this verse so much. So all Upanishads are compared to Gav, means cow. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. And the essence, Krishna is the milkman. Krishna is taking out the essence from all the scriptures. And that is Dogda Gopala Nandanaha. That is Bhagavad Gita. And Partho Vatsaha. And who is Partha? He is compared to calf. I don't know how many of you know about cows. Do you know what is the procedure of milking the cow? Now you feel, I want to drink milk, go to cows and milk. You will get the milk and you can drink. No. What is the procedure to milk the cow? Yeah, first you need to release the calf. So calf will go and drink sufficiently. Then calf comes out. Then you go and put your hands on the udders. Then cows will allow you. Without leaving the calf, if you directly put your hand, you will get Mahaprasad. So Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta. So then, why Arjuna is called calf? Because he goes and drinks. Because for Krishna, Arjuna is the most favorite. Is like a devotee, friend, son, and anything you can say. So first, Arjuna goes and drinks. Then remaining is for all of us. Dugdha Gopala Nandana. So that is the. So now, in ISKCON, Prabhupada says there are 4 important books for all the devotees to be read. And for your information, there is not only 4 important books, there are 2 sets of 4 important books. Let us see who will crack it. 2 sets of 4 books. 4 books, 1 set, 4 books, another set. What are these? 4 books, 2 sets. Yes, bro? Okay. Yes, bro. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion. This is one set of, what is this one set? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion is one set of 4 important books which Prabhupada said. There is another 4 books, one set of 4 books. What are they?
Nectar of Instruction.
Nectar of Instruction. Bhagavad Gita. Ishopanishad.
Nectar of Devotion.
Nectar of Devotion. This is another 4 sets. These are 2 sets of Bhagavad Gita. Now I will explain. Many of you are thinking, what is Prabhu? Almost all the books look similar. So this is one set. This is what you are going to study in the Bhakti Shastri classes. What are this? Bhagavad Gita, Ishopanishad, Nectar of Devotion, and Nectar of Instruction. These 4 books, what is so special? Why Prabhupada chose these four important books for Bhakti Shastri? He could have chosen Perfect Question and Perfect Answers or so many other books. But for Bhakti Shastri, for degree purpose, you should study these 4 books. Anybody would like to answer why only these 4 books? There are so many books. If nobody, then you will get a pass. You will get only pass. You will also get pass answer. Anybody else would like to try? Foundational philosophy. Why only these books? Technical answer. Nobody? Yes, bro. Nectar of Devotion is?
Nyaya.
Nectar of Devotion is not Nyaya. Yes.
It establishes the position of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, completely removing all the doubts present in the here.
All the 4 books?
Yeah. All the
Prabhu is saying that all the 4 books establishes the position of Krishna, which is not correct. Now you see, very important. Bhagavad Gita and Ishopanishad tells the sadhya, which is the goal. And Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction tells the sadhana. how we have to live, what we have to do. So, nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion tells us the sadhana, the process, and Bhagavad Gita and Ishopanishad tells the sadhya, which is the goal. So, these are the 4 books. So, now there are another set of 4 books. What are another set of 4 books? Important 4 books Prabhupada said? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, nectar of devotion. So, here Prabhupada is saying these 4 books are also very important because Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam establishes the identity of Krishna and Bhagavatam tells the importance of pure devotion. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, nectar of devotion, nectar of devotion explains the sadhana and Chaitanya Charitamrita explains the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding of all these things. So that is why these 4 books are also important. Now we understood Prabhupada said 2 sets of 4 important books. What are the 4 important books? One is Bhakti Shastri material, another thing is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita and nectar of devotion. So now totally how many shlokas are there in the Bhagavad Gita? 700. Okay, how many shlokas Krishna spoke? 570. Check, I did a mistake. Or you are intelligent. And what are those shlokas which Bhagavad Krishna had not spoken? 125 shlokas. How many totally? Count mathematics.
700.
Arjuna spoke 83 verses in that. Sanjay had spoken 41 verses. Then our Don. I call Dhritarashtra as a Don. He sits and tries to get everything. So Dhritarashtra spoken 1 verse. So this is for your information. So Krishna covers a wide variety of topics in the Bhagavad Gita and his purpose is to establish best sadhya and sadhana. And all the verses of Bhagavad Gita are purifying, whether spoken by Lord Krishna or anybody else, because it is connected to Krishna very closely. Now, in quantity, Bhagavad Gita is very small compared to any other scriptures. In quantity it is very small, but in quality it is bigger than the biggest. The quality of Bhagavad Gita. And I wanted to ask this as a quiz. So Bhagavad Gita is also known as Yoga Shastra. Have you heard about it? So technically, those who are too much into technical philosophical understanding, they also say Bhagavad Gita is called Yoga Shastra. Any guess why Yoga Shastra?
There are so many yogas.
So many yogas. Example?
Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga.
Okay, that is one answer.
Yoga means linking process.
Yoga means linking process.
So it tells linking of the jiva to the absolute truth. And different methods of that linking process.
And even Bhagavatam, many other scriptures also tells us the linking process. But why only Bhagavad Gita is called as yoga? Very unique speciality. If you see Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita, yoga word appears 78 times. And in 15 chapters of the 18th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, only in first chapter 1, 15 and 17 it is not spoken. In all the other chapters, the word yoga is mentioned. Some more information. There are so many other words which are variants of yoga. What are they? Yogi, 28 times. Yukta, that is also comes from the Yuj Dhatu, that is 49 times. So including variant word also as yoga. Yoga is spoken 155 times. Considering 700 verses, it is more than 20% verses has yoga or its related form. So these are some basic information about Bhagavad Gita. Now we will see how Bhagavad Gita is helpful for us. How in this country especially, how they use Bhagavad Gita. We don't know where they use, at least in one place they mandatorily use, that is in court. मैं जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा, भगवद गीता के ऊपर हाथ रख के कहूँगा, सच कहूँगा, all those things, you know. That is the only place they use. So people use Bhagavad Gita only in court before taking promise. And Bhagavad Gita, this is very important. I always tell many devotees or many people who are practicing, they come and say, Prabhu, we read Bhagavad Gita but we don't understand. We read Bhagavad Gita but we forget. These are the questions you have been asked, or you also have asked these questions. Now, how to understand what is Bhagavad Gita? many times this is a wonderful analysis. Bhagavad Gita is not a book which is used for time pass. Now, for example, you're from morning to evening you have worked hard. You are thoda stressed out. You come home, sit on the sofa, you want to relax. You want to read a book. Which book you will open and read? Krishna book. Why Krishna book? Past tense are there. Prabhupada Leelamrit. Or some novels. Right? These are the books which you don't read, just story you read, story you will enjoy. But if you start using technical jargons like yogi, how many times comes in the Bhagavad Gita? If you want to relax, you can't open it and make analysis like this. Right? So, but this is one thing. Whenever you want to relax, you read novels, stories and other stuffs. Now, you are hungry. Or when you want to relax, you don't open the cookbook and read it. You want to relax, just open how to make halwa. So take 1 kg rava. Take 200 grams of sugar. Maja aa raha hai. Something like that works. When you want to relax, cookbook will help. No, right? If you are reading cookbook to relax, can you read cookbook basically? But when you need cookbook? To cook. When you want to perform some action, when you are hungry, then you open cookbook. It makes a lot of sense. Take 1 kg rava, just see where is rava. Bring the rava, sugar, right? Everything you just come and make it. Whatever is told in the cookbook, you do it and you get what? Halwa. So similarly, these scriptures, these books are not for time pass. Many times, when we read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Chaitanya, all the scriptures, whenever you want to relax, when I am free, Prabhu, I will read it. That free time will never come. And if you are free, when you open the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you will feel sleepy. So when you should read? When you want to perform action. So whatever you are reading, you want to put it in action. Then that is why I call it as Bhagavad Gita is a book of action. Perform. You should perform. It is not just for time pass book. So one of the foundation scripture which comes under Prasthanatraya. So now if you see Christianity, which book they refer? Bible. In Islam?
Sharia.
So, but what about So, but for Hindus, which book they refer? Actually, they didn't know which book to refer. Hundreds of years ago, all the scholarly people came together. So they came together, they actually said, Arey, Christians have one book, we should also have one book, when we say. So then they finally concluded that we should say Bhagavad Gita is our book. So this is the highly quoted scriptures among the Hindus. So this is another interesting point. Bhagavad Gita is spoken in an external war setting, but the message is for internal war. Very deep point. So yes, Bhagavad Gita is spoken in the external war setting, but the message is for internal war. So let us try to see what all we can learn from Bhagavad Gita in general. First and foremost lesson what we can learn from Bhagavad Gita, even from the page of the cover page of the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's humility. Oh, what an amazing thing, right? Who is Krishna? Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayak. He is coming and becoming your driver. It requires guts, real guts, no ego. So Krishna is ready to become a driver of his devotee and he becomes famous as Parthasarathi. Have you ever heard in any multinational companies, Microsoft, Bill Gates tells one of his employees, today I will drive you, you sit behind. In companies, nobody says. He's a CEO but he never wants to serve anybody. Can you imagine? Krishna is not just CEO, he is the Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayak. He is a creator, maintainer, destroyer, everything he is. But he comes down and becomes Parthasarathi. See, if somebody identifies you by your name or somebody glorifies you and gives you some titles, we happily accept. But here Parthasarathi is not a glorification. For Krishna, it is something very small name. But Krishna accepts that and he enjoys that also. That is the beauty of Krishna. Why Krishna can do this? Nowadays people wants to become leaders. We know why people want to become leader? Because they can enjoy the facilities and privileges what they get. rather than doing their duties. Most of the people, they want to become team leaders, managers, or temple presidents, whatever, youth leaders, whatever leaders, they want to become leaders because they have seen these leaders are getting a lot of facilities and privileges. I should also somehow achieve that. Not for the service sake, but for the honor, for the privilege. So it is very subtle. It works very subtly. If you are not conscious, we actually fall for it. So we need to be very careful. This is most important lesson. Krishna is an excellent example of a leader who can put contribution above position. So we all have position, but we don't think about the contribution. But Krishna, when he becomes a chariot driver, what is thinking? I can achieve a lot by protecting the Pandavas. To establish Dharma, that is his goal. Krishna's goal is not to make name and fame and become famous. In the Kurukshetra context, what I am speaking. In that context, he is not interested for name, he is not interested for anything else. What is interested? Purpose. Very clear purpose, very clear goal. For that, he is ready to put contribution over position. So when our focus becomes contribution, then all this position, name, fame doesn't matter. Again, this is very subtle. Without our knowledge, it creeps in. And we are thinking, but by lip service we may be saying, my focus is contribution, but inside I am holding on the chair. Others can see, but we can't see. Very subtle. So, I think most of you are going to become leaders. So these things, it is very important for us to know, and we should write it inside. So second, amazing leadership lessons. So Bhagavad Gita is discussed between two great leaders. Not just some Tom, Dick and Harry is speaking, something nectarian comes. No, it's spoken between two great people. So one should be fortunate to hear what two great people speak. It may be in any field. In any field, if you want, like for example, whether it is a business or some scholarly, if two great people are discussing, means definitely something nectar comes in that field at least. Yeah, nowadays podcast is one of a very good example. Now we will discuss about Krishna. That's what I say. Whenever in this world, an ordinary person becomes extraordinary, he is called as superhuman. Any example? Ordinary man becomes Spider-Man. He is superhuman. An ordinary person puts a dress of spider or super, he becomes Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. But when an extraordinary person comes and performs as an ordinary person, that is incarnation. So what is the purpose of incarnation? One of the purpose is, incarnation means God comes from top to bottom to take people from bottom to top. Can we repeat? Incarnation means God comes from top to bottom to take people from bottom to top. So where are we? Bottom. That we should know. Prabhuji, I am already in top. No, sorry. So now this, as I was saying, when Krishna comes from top to bottom, it is not that Krishna's life, that's what I say, whenever we try to understand scriptures, we can understand scriptures in 3 levels. What are the 3 levels? This is Madhvacharya in his Tatparya Nirnaya writes, very interestingly. He says, we can understand scriptures in 3 levels. First level, historical, aitihasika. Historical, in some days it has happened, right? Second is historical, philosophical, shastriya. It is philosophical understanding we can get. And the third understanding is psychological. We can learn a lot of psychology also. And Lord's pastimes, if you are careful and observe properly, we can learn a lot of things. Now let us analyze Krishna's life. How was Krishna's life? Do you think it was very smooth and soft? No. Krishna, who is the main speaker of Gita, who spoke about 594 verses, he is a self-made person. I'm just psychologically speaking. Don't bring Godhood here. Psychologically, In our normal life, how it is, we'll compare Krishna's life with that. So he's a self-made man. Right?
Yes.
And where was he born? Why I analyze made this point is, many people come and say, Prabhuji, family is so much difficulty, this is that difficulty, this difficulty, I can't do anything. Wait, let us hear difficulties what Krishna has faced. So, at least you were born in a very nice place. Krishna's birth itself, where it was?
Jail.
In the jail. So Krishna was born in the jail, and for whom? Who were his parents?
Devaki and Vasudeva.
Devaki and Vasudeva. Now after he was born, immediately what happened? His parents rejected. How many of your parents said, my child is born, I will give to somebody else, you take care? Foster. Maybe because of the distance, that too, for education purpose they might have sent you. Not as soon as you were born. So here Krishna was born to some parents. He was raised by some other parents. And you think you have better difficulties? So it is not that at least few years at least he got his parents' love. No. As soon as he was born, he was shifted to some small village outskirts. Then what happened? Okay, at least these things happened, let us understand. But after shifting to the village, was it Krishna was peaceful?
No.
What happened?
3 days.
From his childhood, so many demons came. And generally, who was Kamsa? Mama. How many of you have Mama in your life? Right? So many of you. What is your relationship with Mama? Is it very tough relationship? Very sweet, right? Mother's brother, they are very sweet. If you can't even ask your mother, you can ask your Mama. They will not ask any question. Mother will ask, I want something. Why? How much? Why so much? Why only that you want to buy? But Mamas are not like that. Mamas are bindas, magnanimous. Right? So, Krishna's Mama, Kamsa, he is also magnanimous. He saw my Bhanja you say? Bhanja is so nice, so sweet baby. I should send some toys. So he sent Putana. So Krishna tried to play with the Putana. He didn't like the Putana, he broke. He broke the Putana toy, he broke the toy. So then Aghasur, snake, he didn't like. He tore it open, he broke the toy. So then Aghasur, Bakasur, Shakatasur, so many toys Kamsa kept sending for Krishna's play. But Krishna played for some time, he didn't like, he broke. Finally he didn't like Mama, he broke Mama also. So his upbringing was not an ordinary place. His upbringing was in Vrindavan, a small village. And he was attacked by Kamsa many times. And he managed everything single-handedly. He didn't go and complain to parents. He didn't never thought, why did my parents put me here? So many problems. And what about this, my Yashoda Mata, Nanda Maharaj? They are also not taking care of me. And all problems he kept it to himself, and he solved his own problems very nicely. And finally he went to Mathura, faced his enemy Kamsa without any fear. So he killed Kamsa and got the Mathura in hand. Now he went and fought the greatest enemy of that time. And after killing, he got the entire Mathura. And did he become the king of the Mathura?
No.
What did he do?
Ugrasen.
He gave to Shurasen or Ugrasen? Ugrasena, okay. My mistake, Shurasen is there. So his grandfather Ugrasen, he gave that, and he took the humble position of an advisor. So now, if you fight for some project, and you get the project, you become the project leader. Then you want to control the entire project, and whoever are under that project. But what Krishna is doing, he is going and conquering, and he's okay, you take care, and he just steps back. So rather than becoming the king, he took a very humble role. So voluntarily he chose to be a charioteer and advisor. This is about Krishna. Now why I am saying about, because we are two people who are discussing about Bhagavad Gita. So not ordinary people. So one is Krishna. Now we will discuss about Arjuna. Was Arjuna's life easy?
No.
Not at all. It is not. Arjuna is not an ordinary person. He was a prominent prince in one of the most powerful ruling dynasties of the times, that is Hastinapur. So Where was Arjuna born?
Forest.
Forest. Where was Krishna born? Jail. Where were you born? Which hospital?
Victoria.
5-star hospital.
Victoria.
Government hospital. Nowadays, if you have seen any delivery homes, maternity hospitals, there you need to pay like big amount, 2.5, 3 lakhs package you can take, yeah. And if your boy means you'll put in a blue color room, and the blue balloons they put outside. So whoever comes to the room, they'll understand it's a baby boy or girl. If girl means pink color, so much they do. But you see how these great people where they were born. That's what I was saying. There are great people even in India like Swami Vivekananda, B.R. Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi. You know, Ambedkar was 12th child. If you have seen in the school, every subject had one chapter about Ambedkar. Mahatma Gandhi was 8th child. Vivekananda was 13th child. Now currently people are not allowing Mahatmas to be born. So Mahatmas don't come first time or second child. They have to make so many children. But second child means people are laughing. You are having second child, wasting time. But Mahatmas are getting born after 10th child, 8th child like that. Krishna also 8th child. So Arjuna was a prominent prince in a prominent dynasty. He was the best student of Drona, who was the best teacher at that time. It is like you are studying computer science in Seattle, Microsoft. No, you cannot study there. You are working. MIT. So if you are studying in MIT computer science, that means like best subject from the best college. So that was Arjuna. Without any gate, he got entry to Dronacharya's teaching abode. So he was the best student, and Drona was the topmost teacher, and under him, Arjuna was the best student. And he was the best pet grandson of Bhishma, who was the best of all his time. When somebody speaks about Bhishma, there is no second person for Bhishma. He was one of the top in everything. When you talk about archery, fights, intelligence, knowledge, scholarship, humility, leader, you take anything, he was expert. Devotion, everything he was expert. And who was Arjuna? He was Bhishma's pet. And he was the top and foremost archer. And archer in an age of formidable archers. Even in that situation, Arjuna was a formidable archer. Most prominent contributor in the war of Pandavas. In almost all the wars, the most important contributor was Arjuna. We can say he was a champion among champions. Right? So nowadays people give gold medal for hitting bullseye. Arjuna would hit bullseye just by hearing the sound. Which medal Arjuna should get? Shabda Vedi. Just by hearing the sound, Abhishek is here. So not seeing it. So these people are getting gold medals in Olympics. Gold medals, what is the prize amount for gold medal? No, around 5-6 crores, so many crores. People at the age of 20, 21, they are earning 20, 30 crores. And they get so many other things also, facilities in the government. Anyway, let us not discuss about the money. So Arjuna, what was Arjuna? He is not an ordinary person who had complete sense control. He said no to Urvashi. Urvashi proposed him. Urvashi, who is Urvashi? Most beautiful woman. Not from earth, she is from heavenly abodes. So all this nowadays on planet Earth, over you take Miss Universe. Who is Miss Universe? I don't know. So Miss Universe, Miss World, all these people will look like Ashtavakra in front of Urvashi. That is the beauty of Urvashi. And that kind of person, the most beautiful lady, she proposes to Arjuna. Arjuna, come, we will enjoy. And Arjuna says, no. Quite interesting. That's why I say, whenever sense objects come to us, there are different levels of devotees, they react different way. When a pure devotee, when sense object comes, Maya comes and tells, come on, enjoy me. And pure devotees say, no. And karmis, when Maya comes, oh, where were you? I was just waiting for you. Please come on, let us enjoy. And devotees in between, what do they say when Maya comes and says, come on, let us enjoy? They say, wait. They can't say no, they can't say yes. They say, wait. Let us see after some time if something works out. So Arjuna's sense control was at this level. He had the courage and guts to say no to Urvashi also. And after this, because of this, he got cursed. What was the curse? As I said, he was the most formidable archer, civilized Aryan, the prince, and for 1 year he got sharp to be a eunuch. If you and Arjuna put, just imagine, 1 year you need to behave, not behave, you have to become a eunuch. Is it possible? You will give up everything. Forget about ISKCON, Bhakti, everything. You will give up everything. But Arjuna's purpose and goal was so focused. Even though he became eunuch, he used that to be in incognito for the last the 13th year of the exile. So that is why I say leadership means two things from Arjuna we can learn. One is public leadership. Public leadership is easy. You give money, you speak very nicely. People will fall for you. Charismatic speakers, there are so many charismatic speakers. Now slowly they are all, people are coming to know what are things they are doing. Cheaters, so charlatans, they come out and by charismatic speech, they control people, they get followers. Or by paying money they get followers. And public leadership you can become. You can become a public leader. But personal leadership is very difficult. So there are two kinds of leadership. What are they? Public leadership and personal leadership. It is easy to become a public leader, but very difficult to be a personal leader. Now, another interesting point. Those who are public leaders and not personal leaders, they are misleaders. Those who are public leaders and not personal leaders, they are misleaders. So before becoming a public leader, we have to first become a personal leader. So that is why leader means neta, in a word in Hindi, right? Which comes from the word netra, which means vision. So neta means one who has got a vision. That's why leader means one who has a vision and who has inspiration to inspire others to follow that vision. This is very important. Just having vision is not sufficient. Just inspiring people is also not sufficient. You should have the right vision and you should inspire. You should have the inspiration to inspire others to follow that vision, which is very important. Another interesting quality of a leader. Leaders are known by the quality of decision what they make. So because every time we need to keep on making decisions. From the early morning when the alarm rings, we have to make decision. Right? All of us, whole life is all about decisions, choices. That's why I say our life is a journey between point A to point B. Point A to point B. In between is point A to point C. No, point A to point B. So then, that is life, point A to point B and D, birth to death. From point B to point D, that is birth to death. In between is C, that is choices. From the early morning, we have choices whether to get up or not. 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, alarm we put, and alarm rings. How many of us we get up? This speaker. So, even if you see interestingly, when he was performing his Leela as a Kshatriya, as a Grihastha, Krishna would get up early in the morning and he would perform all the morning rituals. He would get up early in the morning, but he never used alarm. Why Krishna never used alarm?
He control of time.
No, if Krishna is Allah and if Krishna is Ram, then why does he need alarm? So, from the morning, from the time we get up, we wake up, we have to make decisions. We have to make, there are choices and we have to make decisions. The place where you are right now is because of your choice, your decision. Wherever materially or spiritually, wherever you are, one day you made a choice. One day you made a decision. That is why we are sitting here, or you are in your position wherever you are. So, at least now you make the right decision so that you can have a better future. That is the point. So, another interesting thing about leaders should not force people. Leaders don't force people to follow, they invite them on a journey. Leaders should not put the fire under. They should build fire within. They should create fire inside. Now what happens if you put fire below me? Then I will immediately get up, it will burn. So when you create fire inside, then you will do something, you will achieve something. Yad yad acharati shrestah tattad devetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So that it may be 1% or 2% who are the leaders, but that 1%, 2% leaders are going to take the others in their journey. For that, these 1%, 2% leaders should have a clear vision and should have that inspiration to inspire others. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, another important lesson we can learn, Krishna does not give solution to the problems. Right? In the entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has not spoken, has not told any skills. Arjuna, when Bhishma comes, you take particular arrow and you stand like this and you shoot. No. There is no. And there are so many people who say, we don't keep Bhagavad Gita at home. You have heard this? Because Bhagavad Gita means war. But where is war in the Bhagavad Gita? That means you have not read Bhagavad Gita. So they speak, one person was telling me, don't sir, you read Bhagavad Gita but don't keep Bhagavad Gita at home. I said, really? What happens? There will be a lot of fights. Then I said, really? I didn't know this. So in your house you have Bhagavad Gita? He said, no, there are no fights. Then he didn't answer, he left. So whether you keep Bhagavad Gita or don't keep Bhagavad Gita, you will have fights. So here Krishna did not give any solution to any of the Arjuna's problem, but he gives strength to face the problem. So Arjuna's problem, he was not ready to kill his relatives, not because Arjuna was lacking any skills or forgot any important techniques. Krishna, one particular, can you just tell me the starting of the mantra? Like in exams we have this problem, right? Oh, that formula I remember, but what is the starting? So that was not Arjuna. Arjuna was not lacking skill, but he was lacking will to fight. So during exams, many times we also feel like this, I don't want to write exam tomorrow. Why? No preparation properly. So if you see, there are two verses. Arjuna says what is happening to him. Arjuna vacha drishtve mam swajanam Krishna yudsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukam cha parishishyati. So Arjuna is saying, oh, I am not able to fight. I feel the limbs of my body is quivering, mouth also drying up. Same thing happens during exam. If you are not prepared well, you see the question paper, body is quivering, mouth is drying up, answers are not coming. Then Vepatusya sharire me roma harshascha jayate ghandivam samsate hastat tvacheva paridhyati. So my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end. Not even one question I don't know the answer. And Gandhiva is slipping, pen is slipping from my hand. I am not able to write my exam. Skin is burning. You are sitting in AC, but your still skins are burning. So all these things happens when you are not prepared for your goal. So in the entire Bhagavad Gita, there is no war strategies and martial techniques given. So but Krishna is saying direct. He is saying I can't fight. He is saying Dehinosmin yadade kaumaram. Sorry, Dehinosmin yadade janma karma cha me divyam. And Krishna is giving ultimate solution. And most importantly, Krishna on the next verse he says, Matra spashastu kaunteya. Anybody knows this verse and meaning? Anybody would like to tell? Yes, bro.
very happiness due to the temporary or summary is
Summary in essence you can tell.
is because temporary interaction between the sense object and the senses.
So here matra sparshastu kaunteya shita ushna sukha dukkada. He's saying matra sparsha. Be very careful whenever a sense object comes, the sparsha is sufficient. Touch is sufficient. But we are too much into touch screen. And Krishna is saying, be very careful about the touch. And we are completely, and while one devotee was saying, Prabhuji, from so many years I have been chanting, now I understood why this finger was not used. So that he could use mobile phone while chanting. So this is what is happening. Our realizations are changing. So I think all devotees should come together, leaders, and add one more offense to the 10 offenses, 11th offense. No using mobile phones while chanting. That offense is very important. But what to do? Situation has changed. Now, another interesting concept. Krishna makes battlefield as classroom. So by this we understand how Bhagavad Gita teaches the principle that learning opportunities are present even in every situation. Now I have to tell you something very interesting. So what is real communication? Now I'll tell you one story. From this story we will derive some parallels. There was one person who came from Tamil Nadu to Bangalore. He went to one restaurant, small restaurant, and he was very hungry. And he went and asked the restaurant person, "Sir, I am very hungry. What do you have?" He said, "I have vada." And he said, "What is the cost of the vada which can satiate my hunger?" And he said, "Sir, 5 rupees." And he said, "I would like to have." "Sir, please be seated." So they served vada. He ate one vada. He said, "One more." He ate second vada. Still he was hungry. Third vada, still hungry. Fourth vada, still hungry. Fifth vada, still hungry. Sixth vada, still hungry. Seventh vada, he was full. Then he said, "Done. I am done, sir. How much I should pay?" 35 rupees. Pakka calculation. But he said, "No. I'll give you only 5 rupees. Why? You ate 7 vadas. But, sir, please understand, what was my question? What is the cost of the vada which can satiate my hunger? And 7th vada satiated my hunger. I am going to pay only for 7th vada. This is called Sapta Vada Nyaya. So the Sapta Vada Nyaya is there. So what is the most important lesson we have to learn from this Sapta Vada Nyaya? Now, in this Sapta Vada Nyaya, 7th vada filled his stomach. That is very clear. Now what has happened? What is the problem here? Is the restaurant owner is wrong or the person who ate vadas are wrong? Who is wrong? Both are wrong.
They did not communicate properly.
Both are correct, both are wrong. Both are correct because the communication was not done properly. So this person who ate vadas, he said very clearly, "I'll pay for that vada which satiates my hunger." But he thought it is only. Now, did 7th vada satiated his hunger? No. Then what happened to technically what happened to him?
All the vadas filled. Then
6 vadas filled. Because of 6 vadas, 7th vada satiated his hunger. Now what is the parallel we have to learn from this? So this 6 vadas is preparing the situation so that he can for hunger to be satiated. And 7th vada actually satiated his hunger. So similarly, whenever we communicate, very important thing, this concept will help us in every stage of our life, every part of our life. Whether you are a brahmachari, grihastha, or a preacher, very important. So how does communication happen? So communication means communicating to a prepared mind. Communication means The 6 vadas prepared. 7th vada communicated. So similarly, I'll use examples. First, and try to sink in this one sentence. Real communication means communicating to a prepared mind. Simple example. A boy has fallen in love with a girl. 5 years affair. Now he decides we should get married. We are getting old enough. So what we should do? Next step? Go and tell parents, father. And he's scared, but he has to break the news. So he goes to father and he says, Dad, I'm in love with this girl. I want to get married. And father says, my chappals will tear now. Communication is over. Now what? Did he communicate anything wrong? No. But why? Communication got over. Now another example. A businessman goes to a bank for loan and he says, sir, I need 25 crores. And he says, get lost. Okay? I went to bank to get loan only and I'm asking to the bank manager, I want 25 crores. New startup company, give me 25 crores. And saying, get lost. Then what I should do? Is he what he said, was it wrong? Then what is happening here?
There's no prepared initial talks for coming to the company.
Now, if this boy has to communicate to the husband, to the father, what he should have done?
Prepare the mother.
How to prepare the mind of the father? Talk to mother. See, he knows her secret. So you can talk to mother, or you can just go to father and tell that I'm getting aged and you're also getting older and mom also is asking some help is required. What do you think? What is your opinion about this? Yeah, correct. So what we should do? Then he thinks. Then he will say, then you should get married. Then at least marriage topic will come and you put this in this way. Then slowly you can venture into what you wanted to tell. Or sometimes a son wants to bike. Nowadays college students, they were 17, 18 years, 19 years, they want bike. And they go and tell father, Dad, I want bike. That bike, no, the seat is like this. I should drive like this. Nowadays bike, I don't feel like driving only. You need to bend so much. So I need a bike. So then father says, he will give a target. Which in your life you can't achieve. You get 95%, I'll give you a bike. And most of the students, young youth, nowadays youth or not, so they know they are not going to get. So throughout life they have to drive the bike which they were driving from their childhood. Like that. Because they can't get bike from their father. So here again what is happening? Communication is not happening to a prepared mind. So in communication, this what is happening in our preaching also, what we need to do is we need to first prepare the mind. If you have not prepared the mind, it is another interesting example is about a farmer. I think many of you know about the farming. In the farming, what you have to get the crops, what you should do, you should sow the seed. Now I have sown the seed, but nothing is happening.
Till the soil.
Before sowing the seeds is most important. But before that, you need to
Prepare the soil.
prepare the field. So 90% communication is about preparing the field. Then 10% job is actual communication, and that is sowing the seed. So now if you are speaking, if you give an idea to an unprepared, in an unprepared market, it is waste of time. If you give a very good idea to an unprepared mind, it gets wasted. There is no use. So first you need to prepare. Now, if the field is prepared, you don't have to sow the seed. You just throw the seed. It will actually grow. So what is most important in communication? Preparing the field, preparing the mind. Even if you if you want to have a business sales pitch, even as preachers, what do? We also sell a product. Our product is the most highest product. That is Krishna. So for that also we need to prepare mind. So very interesting thing is how to prepare mind. That is the most difficult thing, right? Now I go to some youth class or some fresh new people. Now I say, this material world is Dukkalayam. You are going to suffer and struggle here. You need to get out of this material world, which is a place of dukkha. And you are going to die. Jatasya hi dro mrityur duram janmamatasya cha. Come on, wake up. What are you doing? After hearing this, do you think anybody will get inspired? Anybody can get inspired? Nobody. So everybody is going to die. You better you die. For the preacher, you die. I don't want to die. I will go and enjoy my life. That's what happens. That is why what we have to do, we have to create some soothing atmosphere, create mind. That is why whenever we, like whatever the preacher said, is it wrong? It is right thing. But he has not prepared the mind. Now that is why I say, whenever we talk to anybody, we have to somehow make them say yes. At least 5 to 10 times. Then they'll open up their ears. Now I am going to make some statements. You are all new people who have come for the first time Bhagavad Gita class. Now I am going to tell some points. You just say whether it makes sense or not. Yes or no. Okay, ready? All of you are now students who have come for the first time. Now, dear students, very happy to have all of you for this first Bhagavad Gita session. Now, Bhagavad Gita is very interesting. Now, the entire philosophy tells few important lessons for our life. Now, I will tell you some statements. You say whether it is yes or no. Yes or no. First statement. In this world, all of us are trying to get happiness.
Yes. Yes.
And we all want happiness. We are trying and trying and trying. But it is too difficult to get happiness. Yes?
Yes.
And whenever I try to do something, there is always some obstacles. And I know, unless I cross all these obstacles, only then I'll get that happiness. Yes? And I was thinking, I want to be happy, but I see my father is sick, he is not happy. Yes? I see my mother is not happy. My sister, brothers, they are not happy. My friends are also not happy. Yes? But we are very sure that we want happiness at any cost. Right? Yes?
Yes.
So now I understand in this entire material world, we are all looking for the right thing, but we don't know where to search for this happiness. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now let us hear Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells where we can get that happiness. Are you ready?
Yes.
So now we have to prepare the mind. Suddenly, Naresh too. So that's what happens here. Coming back to our lessons. So Krishna makes battlefield as classroom. So we understood the concept of communication. What is 90% of communication is? Preparing the mind. 10% is
Communication.
actual communication. And for this you should know one Nyaya. What is that Nyaya? Saptavada Nyaya. You will remember and you will understand. The 7th Vada only satiates the hunger. No. Not the 6 Vadas. But all the 6 Vadas are important, which actually helps prepare for the 7th Vada. That is the point. So, what is the time, Prabhu? Time up? 9:20. So, till what time we can? Another 5-10 minutes?
12 o'clock, midnight. Provided you can keep on asking them, provided they keep on saying yes.
Yes.
First you ask them, can they be here till 12 in the midnight?
Can you be here till midnight? 12 p.m.? No! Haribol. Okay, another 5 minutes I'll conclude. So Arjuna was in 2 battlefields. Which are those 2?
Internal.
Yeah. less distracting battlefield, which was the physical battlefield, and bigger battlefield, which was Arjuna's consciousness, where the battle between his emotion and reason had started, and emotion had caught the reason. That is why intelligence and heart both cannot work simultaneously. When intelligence, logic and emotion, or intelligence and heart, you can take anything. So when logic is working, emotion doesn't work. When emotion is working, logic doesn't work. How? Simple example. I think most of you have seen the movie. In any movie, you see there is a hero and heroine, they are running to escape from the villain, and finally they run, and finally they come to a big shed, big spacious place where the villain is there, and hero just goes, and heroine also is there behind, and suddenly from nowhere, 100 gundas will come, and the villain is there in the center, and villain was acting as if he was scared, and suddenly he shows. Now you see behind 100 people are there. Now hero is alone, and heroine is thinking, I think we are going to die. He says, don't worry, I am there. From where he gets courage, we don't know. Can you fight 100 people? Even if you are a black belt in Kung Fu, 5 people will hold you, break your bones. You are 100 people, suddenly he sees nothing is happening. Then what? And main gunda says, one person go. And this person comes and hits, and he falls. That slow motion they show. Slow motion he dies. He falls, and his head gets hit, and he's bleeding. And heroine says, come on, and background BGM music is also playing, and suddenly he sees, and he says, blood, and the heroine takes the blood and puts him as a tilak. and he's fallen, suddenly he sees, after the thing he gets empowered, and suddenly he puts his hand, there is one rod. Director has kept it. So that he takes that rod, and in one rod, 100 people, he kills. And when 100 people attack the hero, all of us, when we are watching, the tears are there. We are there, we are thinking that we are the hero. And after some time, 100 people finishes, and we are, come on, yes, hit, maro, right? So then after that, he finishes 100 people with that one rod. And they have guns, AK-47, everything, nothing is happening to him. With one rod, he finishes 100 people. Story is nice. Hey, it is nice. All of you enjoy. So when you are watching the movie, you will enjoy, because you are not analyzing. The moment you start analyzing, using your intelligence, how it is possible? First question, the first person when he hit, why did he fall on the rock only? Why that blood came? How that blood, tilak, he got so much shakti from where? If you start applying your logic, you can't enjoy the movie. So you can't relish, you can't understand, you can't enjoy that 3 hours, 2 hours movie if you start analyzing using your logic. You need to be just there and relish. Right? So the moment you start analyzing, you can't enjoy. Or if you want to enjoy, stop analyzing. So that is why there is Krishna Leela and the philosophy and Leela. So Leela should not be analyzed. Now one devotee was saying, Krishna lifted that Govardhan, fine, the 22 kilometers, earlier you said that it was much bigger. Now at least it's 21 kilometers width. So now if you want to lift anything, you need to have the center of gravity, right? So Krishna held it. But from the starting, he lifted it was like this. He lifted, if you want to lift, it has to come like this, Govardhan. Until he went to the center, how he managed the entire thing? If you start applying your logic for the Leela, you can't release the Leela. So, but for philosophy, we need to analyze. Technically, for Shastra, we need to analyze. But for Leela, you should use your heart. Right? So that is another important thing. So here, Arjuna got stuck with these two things, emotion and reason, and this caught him, and he was just stuck out there. So this was the Dharma Sankat. Arjuna was in Dharma Sankat, the dilemma between Kula Dharma or Kshatriya Dharma. What I should follow. So this is called Dharma Sankat. So what is Dharma Sankat means?
Both are correct.
Huh?
Both sides are correct.
So Something is immoral. Should we do immoral things? Direct no. Because in immoral things there are two choices. One is moral and one is immoral. Which one we should choose? Moral, very clear. But the question comes, or difficulty comes, dilemma is there when there are two options, both are right options. Both are right. That is, this is called, one is moral crisis and this is called ethical crisis. In ethical, moral crisis means one is two choices, one is moral, another one is immoral. In ethical crisis, both are moral. Which one to choose? That's what in Ramayana also many people ask, why Ram abandoned Sita? So at that time, what was his role? In this choice, two options are there, two right things. In that we should do the highest right thing or the highest moral thing. That's what for Ram, he was a king, he was a leader and he was a husband. Which in these two options, which was the highest? As a king. So again, Ram put contribution over his personal situation. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Janmashtami Mahamahotsav ki jai, Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So anybody would like to say something? Raja Krishna Prabhu, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu. Okay. You want to say something, Raja Krishna Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu. Mike.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, as you told, there are two types of leader. One is personal leader and
Public
one
leader.
is public leader. So how one become that personal leader? Can you describe it?
Vacho vegam, manasa vegam, krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udara vegam, udaropastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishayita dhira. One who has all these things, then he is called the real leader. That's why I say all of us, we should become heroes. The real hero is this. The quality of real hero is this. Vacho vegam, mind control, sense control, tongue control. When we do all these things, then that is personal leadership. And what is this process? This process is actually this process of bhakti helps us to become a better human being. First we have to become a better human being. First we have to become human being, then better human being, then devotee, then pure devotee, then perfect pure devotee. So where are we now? We should understand that. Then we can work to the next stage. We cannot directly, we are so inhuman, animalistic, and we are thinking that I want to become a perfect pure devotee. Haribol, there are so many steps, Prabhu. So many steps. From animalistic, first come and become a human being. And from human being, become a better human being. Then next level, devotee, then pure devotee, then perfect pure devotee. This is my understanding. Okay?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything else? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I would like to thank His Grace Anantavallabha prabhuji for so nicely bringing beautiful lessons from Bhagavad Gita, especially in a way that is applicable to all of us in the context, in the society that we are living. So Prabhuji's classes are always like this only, that we can relate to very much. So let us, especially with that Saptavada Nyaya, it has to be added, I think. Let us all thank Prabhuji by one time chanting loudly Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So we have again the Association of His Holiness Bhakti Prachar Parivraj Swami Maharaj at 11 o'clock right here in the temple hall. 11:30. So we request all the devotees to be please assembled here back. Hare Krishna. Devotees can proceed for Prashada Haribo. Tomorrow is fasting, so please take as much as possible. Correct.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು Hare Krishna, devotees can help in folding these mats, Prabhus.
You cannot make analysis. You cannot even
Hare Krishna, devotees, some devotees can please volunteer to fold these
From your
mats,
heart, you know how much you
roll
know.
these mats.
Yeah, I cannot analyze it. I told you, for Shastra technical things you can